an arena, a coliseum, if you will, a place where things happen because people make them happen. Our arena is called the Glass Palace. And just as the Coliseum had its Nero, the arena has Charlie Richardson, Charles Emmett Richardson, managing director. And the man on the firing line, Thomas W. Avery, Brick Avery, director of events.
Watching him rehearse? Because if you haven't, you better get down there. The show opens next week, and he's falling all over himself.
Well, I'll check it out a little later.
Any objections to checking it out right now?
But no objections.
Good.
Hi, Brick.
How's it coming, Terry?
Fine. Let's let it rest for a while, darling.
Are you all right?
What's the matter? Can't you see where you're going?
Of course I can see.
Come on.
I can see just fine. And I'm all right, honey.
Come on, let me help you to a chair.
Did you hear what I said? I'm all right.
How's it going with Vince Gallard?
He probably had a bad night.
Oh, come on, don't kid a kidder. He's not with it. And I want to know what's wrong with him. Now, are you going to tell me, or shall I find out and tell you?
Okay, he isn't right. I don't know why, not yet, and he's not ready to talk about it.
Oh, he isn't ready. Listen, we've got a string of conventions threatening to go to Chicago unless we lower our rates. We've got 2 dark weeks to fill in March. The humidity control is conked out in the middle of the flower show, and 10,000 orchids are beginning to wilt. And you're asking me to sit still because some guy who dances on skates isn't ready.
Look, he's not just some guy who dances on skates.
Listen, I don't care if he's Ruth St. Dennis. You get him ready, or get him out.
You know something, Charlie? You're the world's original marble heart.
Do me a favor, Brick. No more flower shows.
For an ex-heavyweight to never get off the canvas, you ought to welcome the smell.
I do, only I'm allergic.
Brick.
Yeah, come in.
Sure.
I'm sorry I blew up out there.
That's not why I came. It's...
Fair enough, I mean. What can we do for you? Couple of spins? A ballet number?
For openers, you can go to a doctor.
What?
Unless you've already been to one. I've been watching you work out there.
So I've had a few off days. So what?
More than a few, and way, way off.
Now, some guys just don't put out during a rehearsal.
Well, now, you're not one of those guys. You don't even know how to dog it. If you're not aware of how you look on the ice, ask your wife.
Do what he says, Vince. Go see someone.
As soon as we get this show on its feet. I promise.
I want a full medical report right now, and if I don't get it, you're off the ice.
Oh, come on, Brig. Come on, stop twirling your mustache. What kind of talk is that? You know what happens if I go off the ice? She goes off the ice. The whole shebang goes off the ice, and we take it somewhere else.
Vince, Brick is an old friend.
Everybody is an old friend. As long as we sell tickets.
All right, here's the man's name. He's an eye specialist. I made an appointment for 10 in the morning. I want that report, Vince. Four.
I think.
How many now?
3. 3. I'll give you this, Doctor. You were thorough.
Put your chin forward and not rest.
Like that?
Yeah, now just relax, Mr. Gallard.
Now, call me Vince. Vicente Gallardo. That's my real name. Vicente Torres de la Farina y Gallardo. Pretty big handle, eh, Doctor?
Spanish?
No, Puerto Rican.
See, were you born there?
New York City, 183rd Street. But my parents come from Puerto Rico.
How long have you been aware of this, Vince?
About, 4 weeks. But it comes and it goes, Doctor. There's nothing to write home about.
Why didn't you come in when you first noticed it?
No, I was on the road. I figured it would go away. Probably will. Hmm? No?
Well, she's not bad. She's a little green, though, maybe, huh?
She's a Canadian girl. Just joined the company last night. We're forever replacing expectant mothers.
Yeah, I guess so. Think when's your turn, huh?
Oh, one of these days, Brick.
I hope so. Vince will make a great father.
Yes, I think so. It's 10 after 11. I have to leave in about 5 minutes.
Relax. I'll drive you back.
I've barged in on your day enough already.
You heard any complaints?
No, but I know you've got a lot more to do than wet nurse the Gallards.
You wanted somebody to talk to. I'm a good listener.
Thanks.
You know, on second thought, she's going nowhere. A bad line, no precision, huh?
She's having fun. Yeah, but that's more important.
What, than being good?
In a way, I think. Less problems. Not that I'm against talent, but in a husband and wife situation, it's pretty complicated. A man and a woman living together, working together. It's a pretty delicate balance. I don't know, sometimes I get the feeling that if Vince didn't have his marriage and his career under the same roof, it'd be easier. It'd be easier for him if all he had to worry about was the physical problem.
I think the verdict's not in yet. Maybe he's not as bad off as we think.
You see, he's a very special person. And a very proud one. When you come up from the gutter the way Vince has, pride means a great deal. Sometimes too much.
You're a bright girl.
I'm a married girl. With a husband who can't live without pride. I can't stand seeing him cut off at the knees.
Then don't let it happen to him. After all, you still love him. That'll never stop.
Not as long as I can breathe. How do I get him to know that?
Mrs. Gallard? Mr. Avery, please sit down.
Vince.
Oh, Vince.
Sit down. Join the wake.
As you know, about a year ago, Mr. Gallard had an accident.
Yes.
I took a spill off a bobsleigh at Placid.
Now, this is cause...
Please, let me tell him, Doctor. I know all the words.
Of course, Vince.
It's got a fancy name. Sympathetic ophthalmia. You injure one eye, and in a week or a month, or a year later, the other one is affected, you see. Now, sometimes they can take out the injured eye and save the other one. But I waited too long, and now they can't do that, you see. They can't do that. You want to know what's wrong with me? I can't see very well. And unless they can stop what I got, I won't see at all. I guess you better find yourselves a new boy.
Portrait of a thinking man.
Terry,
Seen Vince around?
he's waiting out front.
I better get a move on.
He didn't rehearse with you tonight, did he?
No, he saw Dr. Arnold again today. He had more tests and medication. He'll be on the ice first thing in the morning.
In case he isn't?
He will be.
Terry, I'm not fighting it. I'm just asking what's going to happen if the man can't do it. We both know the score.
And I'm doing everything I can not to think about that.
I can't blame you. I have to think about it.
What do you want to do? Cancel?
Of course not. It's too late for that. But I think we ought to find some replacement for him. Somebody you'll be able to work with.
Replace Vince? You think I'd work without Vince?
Well, I think you're a professional and...
He's my husband. Do you know what you're asking me to do? Look, I'm not talking about skating. I'm talking about my life and his. What'll happen to us?
You're going to have to face that sooner or later.
All right. Then let it be later. Let it be when that doctor tells him it has to be, and not a second sooner. Rick, I'm asking for a few days, till we're sure.
I can't wait that long. Do you know what would happen around here if we got hung up?
Nothing compared to what's going to happen around our place. Or can't you imagine what's been going on since this thing started? He's twisted, Brick. It's made him a lonely, suspicious, frightened wreck. A wreck out of a man who once lit up a room by just walking into it. It's eaten away at him so badly he can't even accept a kind word or a gesture. Not even a kiss.
All right, Terry. We'll wait.
Did it ever occur to you what'll happen to this guy if he fails in front of 12,000 people?
What do you think will happen to him if I let him walk out?
That's not our problem. Box office receipts are.
Look, let me tell you something once and for all, Charlie. You told me to run this place my way. Well, that's the way I'm running.
All right, just remember, I make policy here. You administer it. So don't pull anything like this again without telling me first, huh?
When I was growing up, every Sunday morning at 11 o'clock, we used to have a family meeting. We took turns being chairman. An experiment in democracy, my father called it. Well, that's what we're having right now. Our first family meeting. Okay? You want to call the meeting to order?
Me? I'm retired.
That's for you to decide.
No, it was decided for me.
Then undecided.
What do you want from me, Terry?
I want you to skate with me. That's what I want. I want you functioning.
In the dark.
I don't know you like this. Do you remember that sled run at Brockhausen? Remember when we were on our vacation? The fastest run in the whole world, you said. That was the first time I ever saw you afraid. But I didn't love you in spite of your fear. I loved you because of it. Don't you understand? I share your fears, your angers, this whole rotten break. I'm a part of it. I want to be. But you gotta let me in, Vince.
All right, Terry. All right. But don't ever make me feel helpless.
How are they doing?
They've been better.
I don't see how.
That's why you're not the director of events.
Give me time. No, seriously, Brick, you're going to be paying for all the time you're spending down here. That office is like Grand Central.
Those are the Mars problems.
I'll take your hand, darling. Vince, please.
I don't want any help. Don't you understand?
Yes?
Brick.
Come on in, Brick. The door's open. You talk to him, will you? I'm all talked out.
Hello, amigo. How is it out there in 2020 land?
Well, you win some, you lose some. Where do you think you're going?
Where? Well, I'll make it short. They've done all they can for me. It wasn't much. Here's all you do. You cancel my contract. You find Terry a new boy. And you go on about your business, both of you.
Vince, at least listen to the man. He's trying to help you, Vince.
What is he going to tell me? That there is a witch doctor in Gibru who's found some magical cure-all?
What? We've been through all this, Terry. What do you want to do? Carry me for the rest of your life?
Oh, no, amigo. I didn't put myself on a hook for you to go around feeling sorry for yourself. Either one of you. Now, just listen to me for a moment. You people remember a dancing comedian that lost his leg about 10 years ago? Well, he couldn't get out of a chair or in one. But because he wanted to, he did. And as soon as he could stump around again, he brought his act back. The same identical act he did when he was whole. And he rocked them. And they loved him for it.
What do you want from me, Brick?
Well, I just want you to think about it, that's all. For 3 years, you two have been skating together. I've watched you. On the close routines, you're just like a single act. Just think about it. Now, how much can you see? And don't ham it up.
Well enough to fall down.
You once told me you could skate blindfolded with this girl.
So?
So do it. Why not? You've been on the ice for 15 years. You're built out of whalebone. And you have your wife.
That's my department.
And whatever affects this arena is mine. I want you to go on tonight.
I'm half blind.
You don't skate with your eyes, Vince. I'll think it over, both of you. If you decide you haven't got the belly for it, I'll cancel tonight and lots of luck.
Right straight through in.
Well,
I just left the dressing room. They'll be ready.
you don't sound very convinced.
You mean about the skating? Don't give it a thought. Vince knows better than to go off on his own in front of a crowd like this.
Well, and what's the problem?
You really want to know?
Sure. If it's eating you, I do.
Well, it is, Charlie. See, those two people in there have a lot more going for them than just this. They have a marriage, Charlie. And it's dying a slow death. It's going to keep on dying until he's ready to let her pick him up whenever he falls down without a feeling that she's robbing him of something.
Know what Charlie Richardson always says about a full house?
Beat three of a kind?
No, it was close.
I tried.
Well, I better get on home before the old lady calls missing persons. Give you a lift?
No thanks, Lloyd. I may get lucky. Hi.
Kill the fever, will you?
Sure. When's he gonna stop hating himself for needing me?
He might be working on that right now. How about it?
How about what?
Holding on tight.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Terry and Vince Gallard.
Okay, amigo. Let's go.
Aren't you interested in seeing how they make out?
They just did. Come on, we'll celebrate at the hot dog.
If I'd known, I'd have come formal.
It's 1 o'clock in the morning. Haven't you got a home?
I can't remember.
Pretty fair night. Box office and concessions.
Well, you're a good guy, Charlie. You run a good store.
Oh, I don't know. Sometimes I get some help.
Really, Charlie? I don't believe it.
You know, you come to think of it, maybe you're right.
Well, it's empty now, and quiet. You can hear a paper cup falling out of the seats at the far end. 1 hour ago, this was pandemonium. Tomorrow, it will be again. It's that way more than 300 days out of the year around here. You name it, and we've got it. Excitement, competition, drama, spectacle, organized Brannigans of every kind. That's why people come here. Pays their money, takes their choice. The real drama of the arena doesn't take place down there on the floor. You look for it in the other arena, the arena of human emotions. Dramas that play themselves out in the dressing rooms and the offices and the dark hallways under the grandstand. Sometimes the roof shakes with the roar of the crowd when a world sports championship is at stake. But few of the audience know how much more is in the balance. In the wings, a pair of hard-faced plainclothesmen wait to ask questions of a top-ranked goalie. This man who came into possession of a package of unmarked $10 and $20 bills an hour before this final crucial game. Sometimes this arena sings a gentle song under soft and floating lights. But for this beautiful girl in love with life, the gentle rhythm of the waltz will become a wild and horrifying pizzicato of terror and revenge. Sometimes the youth of the world sends its finest athletes to compete on the indoor track for the quiet fame of the record books. What of the young pole vaulter, whose every vault is taking another year from his already shortened life? Sometimes this glass palace bursts with enthusiasm when the great American game of politics begins another inning. And one man's moment of triumph and glory is the generation of another man's undying hate and fatal snarling despair. Sometimes the glass palace is the last stronghold of the greatest show of all, and ancient skills still demonstrate their power to thrill and terrify. But what of the daring old man on the flying trapeze who has felt his grip slipping in more ways than one and sees the face of his young and pretty wife staring coldly down as he reaches for the hand that is not there? The audience cheers and sees the surface display. We who make this our life's work see the hidden tragedies, the laughs, the tears, the love, and the hate. It's quite a place, our glass palace, which happens to be the title of this new series. You see, this arena was built for staged conflict and drama. But the stories that we tell will be stories that deal with the drama of the unplanned, the unrehearsed. Men and women in their critical hours, face to face with the unexpected in the great arena of human emotions. And that is the real drama, the true drama of our arena, of our glass palace.